Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have invited someone very special who has got over 15 years of experience in training industry. She has worked in Greece, Italy, UK, and now she's working in Dubai. She's working for one of the biggest private developer in Dubai called DAMAC Properties. So DAMAC Properties is coming up with one of its very exciting project in Maritime City. So I thought of inviting someone who knows everything about that project. So welcome Ioanna Karadima. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
So I know you do not have much time. Your schedule is quite busy. So we'll directly ask questions from you, everything about the project and about the area. So DAMAC is coming up with a project in Maritime City, which is, almost every developer wants to go there. But DAMAC has got a very prime plot over there. But before we discuss about the project itself, if you can tell us about the Maritime City, its location, please.
Okay, so once again, as you mentioned, DAMAC is launching in Maritime City. And one thing that you will notice throughout all our launches is that we choose the locations very strategically.
No doubt about that.
So, of course, Maritime is one of them. And why it is strategic, it's not just that it is waterfront per se, but also the location DNA, as I call it, plays a vital role. What do I mean by that is, if we are here sitting today and we have an amazing real estate environment in Dubai, is because of four things. Number one, the waterfront. Number two is the port. Number three is free zone. And number four is the proximity of an area that has all these to the airport. So all your urban development in Dubai really started exactly where Maritime City is.
Absolutely right.
So that is why it is extremely strategic, number one. Number two, as a location, you're in the middle between Old Dubai and New Dubai. And of course, it is part of the 2040 master plan. It belongs in zone 1, which shows you also the focus that the government puts in that area itself.
That is very important for the people to know that the government is spending heavily in that part of Dubai.
Correct. And we already see that, and we have been seeing that. One thing that I could mention is your Al-Shindaga corridor. Already the government is spending 5.3 billion in updating the infrastructure of the area. And ultimately that helps people who will invest in Maritime City. Why? Because it cuts down travel time drastically.
Yes, because before going, just a couple of months, going to Maritime City or to that part of Dubai was a real challenge or real pain. But now recently I've been there, it doesn't take much time. The infrastructure is getting developed very fast, and I think that the project is completed now or what?
No, basically 3 phases have already been completed. The 4th phase, it's nearly done. Already all the infrastructure in Bar Dubai is completed. 1 week ago, the government announced that as well. So we will just have one more phase to go. This Shindaga corridor project is it's a project that has been running since 2015.
Really? Since 2015?
Yeah, that was when the very first phase started. So, of course, 5.3 billion is a very big amount that the government is spending towards the enhancement of the infrastructure. And, of course, that means that from Maritime City, downtown, Business Bay, 10-15 minutes, you're there. So whoever works, for example, in downtown and wants to be close to it,
yes,
what's better than returning back home into your seafront apartment?
Yes, downtown, Business Bay, DIFC, World Trade Center, the old part of Dubai. So, the location of the Maritime City is really strategic.
Correct. And of course, something that everyone has been mentioning is in this whole area, the majority is non-freehold. So again, that's an amazing advantage that for nearly 1 million of people live in Old Dubai, right? So the only place for them to go and invest and own a property, a freehold property, seafront, is your Maritime City.
Yes, still majority of the business are in that part of Dubai. Majority of the population is in that part of Dubai. And we do not have much, good quality buildings, good quality hotels, or the community in the older part of Dubai.
Correct. And what I always like is the location that offers investors and homeowners the options. So not only just for short-term rental or not just only for long-term rental. So Maritime City, exactly because of all these things, offers this kind of diversification. Because of lack of 4 and 5 star hotels, your short-term rentals are actually an advantage in that area. At the same time, because of its proximity to so many businesses in all Dubai, also, as you mentioned, downtown, the AFC, Business Bay, your long-term rentals are there as well. And of course, if you want to resell it afterwards, because it's a waterfront property, a seafront property, we have already seen in the past what this has translated to.
Yeah, if you talk about the seafront property, first of all, the plots are very limited now, and the demand is increasing because of so many people are coming from Europe, the HNIs are coming. So, I mean, if you talk about the waterfront properties in Dubai, if we start from Blue Waters Island, the price per square foot now is 7,000 to 8,000 dirhams per square foot. Dubai Harbour, the recent launches have been around 6,000 to 7,000 dirhams per square foot. Then Madinah to Jumeirah, it's not on the sea, but it's still the prices have appreciated a lot, and the price per square foot is around, again, 5,000 on average. And then you have Marsala, which is not comparable, but is like super luxury on the waterfront. Then we have got Port de la Mer, is upgrading now. Again, the price per square foot is around 4,000 to 5,000 dirhams per square foot. But now when we come to Maritime City, how much is the average price per square foot now?
So in our projects, you can actually enter at as low as 2,900 per square foot.
So the price per square foot is very competitive, and it has got a huge potential for the appreciation, which we have seen in the last many years in Dubai.
Exactly. So in reality, what you're doing is that you're buying a waterfront property and a seafront property at the prices of other areas, waterfront areas in Dubai 4 or 5 years ago. That's number one. So already you have that gap to reach to increase your price. And of course, because of the scarcity of coastal line of Dubai, the coastal line of Dubai is 72 kilometers. That's it. That also makes it even more premium, more unique, and more scarce.
That's why we see so many developers are now launching in other Emirates now.
Correct.
Because there is not much plots available.
Exactly. And waterfront properties globally acquire a premium anyway. So we can go even up to 70% if you are in proximity to water, especially when you are front row plot on waterfront.
The views are really amazing. There are certain developments now, and it's not just like any canal or any man-made something. It's real water. You have got the amazing views and the kind of the developments which are coming now. We'll stick to Maritime City. So, we have discussed about the location, but who will be the target audience for any project over there, especially for your project, let's say?
Look, again, I will link it to what I was saying earlier, having options, right? Not only for real estate agents, but also for the buyers themselves. Your pipeline of potential clients in the future as your tenants or as your future buyers is quite varied. So it's not only because Dubai Maritime City is a free zone itself. So it's not only the people working in Maritime City or the people in Old Dubai. For example, you have so many government offices there, consulates there, traders. So a huge amount of population is in that area. Also, anyone who, as I said earlier, works in the downtown, the AFC, a Business Bay, and wants a waterfront property, that's also your potential client. Also, your cruise tourists for your short-term rentals, because usually they tend to extend their pre-cruise or post-cruise journey. That could also be your international delegations are coming from to Maritime City because of the free zone is also a potential short-term rental, for example.
So, we know this, but what is coming in the Maritime City as a whole?
So,
if you can just give us brief about the Maritime City, what is coming over there, what is included in the master plan?
So the master plan currently will have service offices because, of course, yes, we do have Jebel Ali, which is also free zone for the blue economy. Maritime City, the plan of the government is to complement Jebel Ali and Jafza. So your operational sides, your heavy load, your heavy cargo is moved in Jebel Ali. However, in Maritime City is where your service offices are.
Okay.
So we're talking about legal companies, legal entities, your insurance brokers, for example, your engineers, the headquarters of the free zones are to be based there. And of course, your mixed-use development across the coastal line of Maritime City, where Your hospital is going to be there, your school is there, your clinic is there, mall is there, and an array of restaurants, F&Bs, retail across the promenade with your residential aspect on the top of
So it's
the
good
building.
for the individual, good for the families, as there is
Exactly.
school, hospital, mall, good for the long-term rental, good for the short-term rental. So it's ticking all the boxes.
Exactly, and of course, we've seen that already in such a location with the promenade and everything that the area has to offer itself, the micro area, as we call it. It is friendly to so many different types of clients.
Okay, perfect. So now we'll discuss about the main thing, the project, the Chelsea residences. If you can just tell us about the location of the plot in the Maritime City of this project.
So it couldn't be more premium, right? We are just on the peak of the area of Maritime City. All our towers, what is unique is that all are facing towards the sea. So it's
All
single,
apartments.
correct. It's single loaded. And that's again something that DAMAC does very, very strategically. They examine the market, they see where is a gap, and then they bring that magic in to cover this gap. So if you've noticed in the last few developments, your one-bedroom apartments, for example, do not have any prime view.
Yes, all the one beds with the major developments which they are launching now, you do not get sea views with one beds.
At all. So, of course, for us to make it even for our investors more competitive and for them to be able also to acquire some premium on that, all our towers are single loaded and all your typologies are facing the water.
So what do you mean by single loaded?
Single loaded means that in a tower, all your apartments are facing one direction. You don't
Okay.
have apartments facing direction A and then other apartments on the back facing direction B.
Okay.
So all our apartments are facing only the sea. So your views are panoramic exactly because we are on the peak. So you have view of the world islands, you have your Dubai skyline view, and of course the ocean in front where your Dubai Reef project is coming up in the future.
Yes.
So that is going to be just amazing and impressive to just open your window and be able to view that.
I mean, the location of the Maritime City is very strategic, but getting a premium plot inside the community is really good. So, I mean, it's really good for the investors, from the investment potential.
Exactly, and again at the price point of 2,900. And again, the other reason why it is strategic is also what other areas it is neighboring with. Because that shows you the kind of clientele that the wider vicinity is attracting. So if you check Maritime City, which are these areas? We're talking about Jumeirah 1, we're talking about even proximity to downtown, we're talking about also your cultural districts like Al-Shindiga, for example. So it is all your upscale areas that Maritime City is neighboring with that adds to the allure of being quite boutique, quite exclusive and unique.
I mean, all the developers which are launching now, very close to Maritime City, they are all very big developers like Umair or Dubai Holding. So this shows one thing, that whenever the government developers are going, I mean, this is the place where you need to invest.
Correct, and I'm always in favor of healthy competition, and I'm actually very happy for all the developers that have come in Maritime City. Why? Because they're all up to par, which means that also your overall quality within the community will be of a certain standard. But also it means that price point wise for your investors, you will not have a wide, for example, difference or differentiation of prices, which will help overall the whole community to scale up even further.
Yeah, this is the problem we have, I think, in Dubai Marina, where there is A quality developer, then we have got low category developer. We have this problem in the Business Bay as well. But in the Maritime City, almost all the developers are really good. I mean, beyond Omniath, one of my favorite, Select Group, DAMAC has already launched 2 projects.
Correct.
And now DAMAC getting a prime plot. I mean, about DAMAC last 2 projects, I mean, how much appreciation they have already seen now?
You're correct on that. DAMAC has already launched 2 projects. One was Harbour Lights and the other one was Coral Reef. Now, both of our projects have been sold out. And that is another thing that I always encourage clients to look for, the absorption also of not only the area, but also of the developer within that area, because it gives you a lot of indication of the strength of the developer. So already we have seen up to 29% appreciation, and we launched these projects 1 or 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
So bearing in mind that currently the area is an emerging area, it's under development, there's literally nothing else except one tower.
Yeah.
So already in that area with nothing, you've seen that 29% appreciation. You can understand what is going to happen once the area just pops up.
Yes, that's a very good point. But there is another point which people are discussing now, which is a very valid point about the demand and supply. So if you can tell us about the supply and demand in Maritime City.
That is always a very valid point or a concern maybe that some clients might have, because it's real estate 101, supply and demand, right? So one thing I think we need to understand is that when the government is spending money on an area, they're not just spending it for the sake of it. They expect certain number of people to arrive to that area and occupy that area, correct? That has always been the case across Dubai. It's how the founder of Dubai actually has built whole Dubai. His phrase is build it and they will come.
Yes.
Right? So the target as per Dubai Maritime City Authority is to bring at least 26,000 people in the area.
Okay.
Now, if you check the launches that happen without including Chelsea residences, that will accommodate approximately 14,000 residents.
Okay.
Which means that we still have a shortfall of around 12,000 residences. That is approximately, depending on different typologies, between 3,500 to 4,000 units. So the good thing and the reason why we are launching at this moment is that, of course, DAMAC comes to not cover this gap. There's still shortfall, all right? It's still early, so you get the early entry advantage, but the momentum is already there.
So that's a very interesting point. The supply is limited, demand is high, and we expect more people to move there once the development is there. So now we come back to the Chelsea residences. So first of all, why this brand, Chelsea?
That's a valid point. So first of all, we know that branded residences are increasing year on year globally. And of course, Dubai is on the top list of cities with branded residences.
Dubai is in top everywhere.
Correct. Now including branded residences. Yeah. Now, again, it's a very strategic partnership that DAMAC is doing with Chelsea. Why? Because it's not just about the football club per se. It's actually how the whole mentality and implementation of well-being is brought into this project. One thing that we have seen throughout the years is that, especially post-COVID, is that the preferences of clients have changed. So now they do care about sustainability, they do care about well-being, and how these elements are integrated within the project with the amenities and everything that a project has to offer. It's not your pure residential units that was in the past. So what is better than one of the top football teams that have this kind of philosophy within them? That's number one. Number two is also the exclusivity aspect. Now, globally, approximately 79% of branded residences are hospitality.
Okay.
Right? However, we have seen an increase year on year on non-hospitality brands, which shows you also where the whole global market is moving. Also, when it comes to brands themselves, how they're trying to diversify their portfolio and increase their market shares. Now, there is no other football branded residence I can't say in the world, but definitely
not in Dubai.
In Dubai there's zero. Exactly, number one. And number two is also how exclusive that exact partnership is. because you do have other partnership, for example, with automotive brands, right? But that is one of many. So ultimately, regardless of whether you are a Chelsea fan or not.
I do not know much about football.
Yeah, but it's one of the oldest football clubs, by the way, in the UK. Regardless of that, there's only one Chelsea residences. So that straight away creates brand awareness further.
Yeah, so it's good for the people who will buy in the Chelsea residences, because whenever Chelsea is playing, they will want to see DAMAC everywhere.
Exactly. But also within Dubai, it becomes a landmark on its own right. Where do you live? In Chelsea residences. The only Chelsea residences
It's good for
is
the
in
Chelsea
Maritime.
fans.
Chelsea fans are not as well, because remember, it's not just the football, it's the wellness and well-being mentality and philosophy behind it that is brought inside the project. And one thing that we know, and DAMAC has already proven, it's when it comes to the amenities, we are the top developer.
So how many amenities are there?
There are more than 23 amenities, and of course they cater to different age groups as well. So apart from your infinity pool and your Chelsea beach club, you can say.
So the beach club inside the building, right?
Correct.
That's very important to know.
Exactly. We are providing, and already our potential clients can go and see. We have done an amazing job with Malibu Bay and Malibu Beach, in DAMAC Hills 1 and DAMAC Hills 2 respectively, so they can get a feeling of how exactly we create our top-notch amenities. But of course, apart from that, you will even have a football pitch on the top of the building. So what else to exercise?
Yeah, football pitch on the top of the building with the best views in Dubai.
Exactly. And even a simulation room, football simulation room. So you don't want your kid to actually sit and play on PlayStation or a PS5, whatever they are called, from morning till evening. They can go into the simulation room and practice.
This is very important
exercise.
for today's kids now.
Exactly. So ultimately, the reason why DAMAC also brings all these amenities is because normally people would have to exit their building and go and pay outside to have that kind of entertainment. Now, you don't have to do this. Actually, you will be inviting your friends over in your own residence and have that kind of entertainment for free.
That's very smart. I mean, you just sit in your building you do not have to go out on the weekends. You're enjoying the best views, best amenities.
Exactly. And the whole concept behind Chelsea Residences is to offer a resort-like feeling and experience. So that also taps on your short-term rentals, for example, who want that kind of amenities vibes as well.
Yeah, right now, because as you mentioned, there is only one ready building, and the demand for that building is quite high for the short-term rental and for the long-term rental as well. So when there is nothing right now in that area, so just think that what will going to happen in next few years when the infrastructure is ready, the community is ready, and this building is ready.
Correct. And one thing that we forgot to mention is that apart from the government itself spending money into the area, it's also Dubai Maritime Authority that is spending money in this area. So not only when it comes to your road connectivity, for example, and infrastructure, but also your sewage system, RO system as well for potable water, so on and so forth. So you can see exactly where the attention is.
Yeah, so the infrastructure is happening by the government and by the Maritime Authority as well.
Correct, and DP World is the master developer of the area. So you can understand how important that is, because also that gives you an indication of how the whole community will be maintained and developed as well.
So now we know about the infrastructure, what is happening outside and inside of Maritime City. But can you tell us what kind of apartments or the topology do we have in the building?
Yeah, so again, what DAMAC always does is that they study not only the whole market, but also the micro market really well. And they always offer the typologies that have the highest absorption rate. Why? Because it allows you to own a property that is desirable, right? There is a lot of demand. So that's why we're coming up with 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. And once again, I will repeat, all of them do have direct view with no future construction coming up, unobstructed view of the sea, which is a major advantage. And also, let me tell you that apart from all this, very vital is that our partnership also with Gensler, who is the architect and the interior designer. Now, Gensler, exactly. Now, why I'm saying this is because, yes, it's a waterfront property, right? That means you're very close to saline environment. Now, that is where creating a collaboration with such a strong name as Gensler actually adds on the quality aspect as well, all right? Why? Because saline environment and condition can be detrimental to your building, right? Ultimately, Gensler is a renowned architect, interior designer, and a construction consultant globally, right?
And what projects they have done in Dubai?
So in Dubai, we have partnered with him before in Volta.
Okay.
But bear in mind, as I said, it's a global brand on its own, right? We're talking about he has been responsible for all Apple headquarters globally. He has also done some sections in Seoul International Airport.
It's big projects.
Exactly. Shanghai Tower as well. So Gensler is all about sustainability. So he studies very, very precisely the topology and topography of the area. And his designs are in such a way that by using that topology and topography, you get the best advantage of that area towards your building. So your wind loads, your sun, for example, exposure, and the materials that are being used, how all together can actually add on the longevity of your building. And ultimately, why do I care about this as an investor, for example? Is because that means that the requirement of maintenance is extended and it's not going to be as high as if these things are not taken into consideration.
I mean, this is a very valid point, which, I mean, I haven't seen it's discussed overall about the Gensler.
Yeah.
So we have discussed everything so far. Is there anything left which you want to add?
So I think we have to discuss about the prices and also the payment plan.
Yes. So for the one bed, the starting price is 2.17 and the average price per square foot is around 2,807. And if you talk about two-bedroom apartment, the starting price is 3.13. The good thing to know, the price per square foot is for a two-bedroom is around 2,580. And if you come to three-bedroom apartments, the starting price is around 4.94. And the best thing is, the higher we go, the price per square foot becomes less. So the price per square foot, average price per square foot for a three-bedroom apartment is 2,474. And the good thing is the payment plan.
Yes.
So the payment plan is 60/40.
And not only 60/40, also there are no bullet payments apart from your first installment, which is 20% plus 4% your DLD. All the other payments are 1%, which means that it's very easily digestible and budget friendly as well.
Yeah, so you do not have to pay, let's say, 20% or 30% in a year. After the 24%, every year you have to pay just 12%, 1% per month, which is really good. And it's not like a very aggressive payment plan, just like some other developments. So by the end of this, once the project is ready or near to completion, you have the option to take a mortgage. You have the option to resell it, or if you want to live there yourself, you can live there.
And when it comes to mortgage, not only on completion, DAMAC has partnered with a deep bank.
Wow.
And for the clients that are eligible for an off-plan mortgage, now they can actually get a mortgage with 35% construction only and 50% payment. So
really good news.
Yes, that is.
So sometimes people struggle when the projects start, the construction start, and at the end of the project they are unable to pay, or you see there's some distress selling. So this time, when now we have got the mortgage on the off plan, so there won't be many distress deals available.
And apart from that, it's not just that if you are eligible for an off-plan mortgage, the norm is 50% payment to be done and 50% construction to be completed.
Yeah.
However, because DAMAC is the biggest private developer, the partnership with Adib allows our clients to actually get an off-plan mortgage at 35% construction.
That's a real partnership.
Correct.
Partnership with the Chelsea, partnership with the banks. It's really good. So I think we have covered almost everything.
Correct.
Or do we need to add anything? But the one important thing is the demand for this project is really high, and soon DAMAC will gonna stop collecting the expression of interest. So if you have got any questions about this project, about the area, feel free to ask. You can ask from me, and if you've got any technical question, you can always ask from Ioanna Karadima. So I mean, the project, in my opinion, and on my channel you will not see about the DAMAC project, but this project I really like it because of its location within the community. It's a waterfront project. The payment plan is really good. The price per square foot is very competitive. The developer is one of the best. The consultants are good. The architects are good. So it has got all the ingredients for a good project, good investment project. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Drop your comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Ioanna.
You're welcome. Thank you.